Name something that is sexier when it's in black.
People.
I'm too sexy for this.
Hi everyone, my name is Deanna, creative, young, black, and frugal, and I'm here to give you all a very highly requested hair tutorial that was asked for me on IG, so follow me on there if you haven't already. And yes, let's get right into the video. So today I'll be doing perm rods, specifically on straightened press, silk press hair, whatever you're calling it. I don't see a lot of videos on that, and as you all can see, my hair is gotten really big and I got some curls, waves coming in, sweated it out some, and my hair's growing at the top, and so it's just really poofy at the roots and stuff, and I don't want to keep straightening it. So we are going to do perm rods using this blue turquoise teal color, and there will be no heat, so I won't have any damage on my hair. This tutorial will be pretty easy. There's only a few products you need. You need some clips to separate your hair, perm rods, obviously, a brush. I have a big one and a small one. And then, of course, the holy grail, the Lotta body mousse, but obviously you can use whatever mousse you want. And yeah, so let's get into the tutorial. So the first thing is you need to brush out your hair. Make sure that it is combed out, no tangles, no knots. You want the style, whenever you're doing perm rods, whether they're on straightened hair or on your natural texture, you want to try to comb it out and make it as smooth as possible, because you want the hair to be smooth when you put it on the rod. And when you do that, it'll that's the style it'll form in. So however loosely or tightly you put the perm rod on your hair, that's how it'll be when it's styled. So yeah, so I just brushed it out. Gotta get all those tangles and knots out. See, there's some. And yeah, so you want to comb it out, brush it out, and then you want to section it. So I'm not going to be very perfect with these because I don't know if I want to do my side swoop, or if I just like whatever, or if I want it down the middle. So I'm just going to do the best I can and not use harsh lines, so I have a little more freedom. So bye-bye straight hair. It was nice knowing you. I had you for a while, but now we're going to get into these perm rods. So I'm gonna do 4 quadrants. It just makes it easier that way. So we'll do, here, and you're just sectioning it out of the way so it's easier, because you don't want the hair getting caught. So it's best to keep it separated. And again, this doesn't have to be, like perfect unless you are intending to do a style that has really straight parts. So I'm just doing that. So, ooh, my head's itching. Also too, this is a great way to, if you're going to oil your scalp's itchy and dry, this is a great time to oil your scalp right before you do this. If you're worried about it getting like oily or greasy, because the perm rods will help with that. So they'll soak some of that up. Oh, got a little piece left. So take the back sections are usually always going to be a little bit thicker. So, but we'll just start from the back and brush it out one more time. So I'm using this bigger brush to just help comb out my hair a little easier and faster. But when doing the perm rods and having these small sections, I'm gonna use a smaller one because we don't want the hair to get, like caught and pulling and tugging on the other hair. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take a section, and you don't need to make these like super small, especially with your hair if it's straightened. You don't need to do that because the hair is already straight, it's already smooth. Now if you're doing and on your hair in its natural state, then I would say probably make them a little smaller. So this is about the size of the section. And what I've noticed is if you do like the regular roll up method like this, it'll still give the same curl, but it'll be flat on the roots. But if you do it like this, which is how I'll be doing them, when you wrap it around some, it'll give more volume and body. So keep that in mind when doing this. If you want more body at the top and volume, you want to do the twirl up and then wrap around. If you want more of a pressed curl, like when you're at the salon, then I would just roll it up regularly. So here's my section. She's combed out, and we're going to use this Lotta body. And you need to use enough to saturate your hair, but not enough to make it curl all the way up. I know it's like a weird space to be. You kind of got to figure out for your hair. But at first, when I tried this, I was using too little, and it wasn't really curling. And then, you know, if you use too much, then it'll start reverting back, and you don't want it to revert back. You just want it to form a new shape. So for me, I use about this much for each section. So that's like, you have to put enough on there to saturate your hair. Think of it as like it's gotta, so I don't know if you all can see, but it's kind of like wet. And so I like to just do one last comb through. The hair should feel kind of wet when you, I'm gonna use a tad bit more. The hair should feel kind of wet when you do it, but not soaking wet. Just enough that you can actually feel the product. So we're gonna wrap. Do about 2 or 3 depending on the length of your hair. Enough to make sure the ends are covered. Wrap, wrap, wrap. And then you pin. It's that simple. And the best part with this is since you're not doing it on your natural state hair, you don't have to like get your hair completely wet. So it does not take as long to dry. If you want to use a, you know, blow dryer or a hooded dryer, you obviously could do that. I unfortunately do not have mine with me, so I have to air dry. So I'm gonna keep this in for probably about 6 hours, so I can make sure the entire head is, you know, dry. But if I had the hooded dry, I would probably just sit on there for 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how thick and long your hair is, with a straightened style. If it was natural state, I would probably do a little air drying and and blow dryer, because your hair is gonna be more wet when you're doing it that way. So that wasn't enough. So that's like, you have to feel it, and like, does it feel, like, can you feel the product on your head? That's key. If you can't feel the product, then that means the hair is, you know, you don't have enough. It's not saturated enough. And if your hair starts to curl back up, then that means you put too much. So that's how, let's say that's how we're gonna know. So roll, do a little twist, roll. So, yep. And this way too, it's great to, if you're not ready to go completely back curly, do the whole wash routine and all that. This will last you at least 5 days, and you didn't have to put any heat on your hair, and it's like you got a fresh new style. So I would definitely keep this in mind. So I'm just gonna do one more for you all, and then I will use my YouTube magic and come back when almost the rest of my head is done, and then I will show you how I you know, do a few in the front. Hopefully it'll be a little easier for you all to see, and then we'll, you know, come back for the finished product. So, and also to know that when I tried this, I did realize that even though my hair is straightened, you're still gonna get some shrinkage, like your hair is curled. So like, keep that in mind. And depending on the size of the rollers, when I use the red or brown ones, which are the ones that are the next 2 sizes up from this, it curled, but it was barely anything there. Now, if you want a very loose curl, like if you went to the salon and they just, you know, put a little curl in it, you know, before you left, I would say use those. But if you actually want some type of, you know, noticeable curl, like you would with any other perm wash set, I wouldn't say go any bigger than these, because it becomes very loose curls. So again, you're gonna take it, trying to, so you all can see. So you're gonna take it. Oh no, I dropped it. So I feel like this piece needs a little more. So I'm gonna put just a tad bit more. I'm gonna take that, it's brushed out. Got your section, brush it out. Take your perm rod, you know, take the end and make sure that the ends are covered completely before you, oh, and also too, make sure you're looking for those straight pieces because then it'll create creases. So roll it some and then loop it, wrap it around, and then roll it a little more and then loop it around again. This, and it's okay if you don't get it at first. And I tell you, this used to seem like rocket science to me when people would say this, but just loop it, wrap it around. So this is what it looks like. And this is 3. I'll probably need to do 2 or 3 more for this section. So it doesn't take a lot. You can just have a couple of packets and you should be good. So this style is cute, heatless, and affordable because this was only $5. Yeah. So I'm gonna use my magic, come back, and then we will finish the rest. Okay, everyone, so we're down to our last 2 pieces. I will show you all in the front. Hopefully it'll be a little easier. And usually with the front, I try to start higher up so that it can get as close to the root as possible. But also, just a pro tip, buy that 1 extra packet. You're not sure, buy it, because I unfortunately had to use 3 little red, well, they're really big ones in the back. So I have to probably blend those in. But if you're wondering, questioning, should you get that second or that last pack, do it. Don't be like me. So, got our section. Take some. Make sure it's nice and kind of up. Sorry, y'all. I guess someone is moving in my apartment and it's just really loud. So you wrap it. And then try to bring it as close as possible. Ta-da! Now we're gonna do this side. So it really doesn't take long to do the whole head. It took about 45 minutes max. And I want to correct myself. I said that you probably need about 6 hours for this. I had to take some out to replace, and they were already pretty curled and dry. So I would say you really only need to do about 2 to 3 hours because your hair is not soaking wet. If your hair is soaking wet, that's a different story. But since your hair isn't wet, I would say 2 to 3 hours just to be safe. So, but yeah, so this is it. And when it's dry, I will take this out and you all can see the final product and how I fluff and style. Hey everybody, so we're back to finish the tutorial. I have been sitting with my hair in these rollers for about 5 to 6 hours, and let's see what it looks like. So I'm gonna use a little oil though, Mielle mint almond oil. So I use this or I use coconut oil, but I know some people aren't fans of the coconut. So I'm gonna just use this and it smells good. So this shouldn't take long. I'll probably just speed it up, you know. You don't need this whole thing, but you just roll it down per little. So these we might have to blend in. Oh no, yay, perfect. Okay, so these 3 big ones, they had the teal ones on them and I took them off, so it kind of still kept the shape, thankfully. Be careful. Sure. Oh no. Okay. So this is what she looks like. I'm gonna put a little bit more oil on my hands. I'm gonna brush through it a little bit, but not, oh, rollers are falling, sorry. But not too much because I want this style to last me a little longer. The more you separate it, the less time it'll last. So I'm just doing a little bit. So that's what I didn't do. You know, when your hair is straight, it's not gonna give you those tight curls you would like if your hair was in its natural state, but it'll give you those big bouncy curls. And see, and she's back smooth too. It was so puffy when I first started, so the fact that now I have, and so yeah. So let's do the other side. We're just separating the curls, and then like they'll last too. Like you could brush them out a little bit if you want after, you know, a couple days or 2, which is great because even though the style doesn't take like super long, obviously the longer it can last, the better. So what I suggest doing is like just separate the curls a little bit so that they, you know, have a little more volume, fluff, they're not like crunchy. And then, and like, you know, any parts you may have, like I'm sure I have parts in the back. So her. Y'all, this is so cute. Love it. Okay. So what should I do? Ooh. A little side swoop situation. No. I don't know. But yeah, so you can do all of that, or you know, you can pull it back, ponytails, whatever. But yeah, I think I'm gonna just leave it like this. But yeah, so now you have some big bouncy curls that'll last you. I'm trying to get up close so y'all can see them a little better. And yeah, and I didn't have to use any heat. So, okay. Thank you all. Okay, I'm gonna stop playing with this hair. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial and that you all try this out. If there's any other hair tutorials and anything like that you all would like me to do, put in the comment section. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching again. Stay black, blessed, and beautiful. Bye.